Hey, today we're going to talk about using the shuttle system at Zion during COVID, which is a little scary,
Yeah.
but doable. And we're in the Rockies, and the whole point of our channel is to help you plan an amazing vacation. And so we've done a lot of research on this topic because we just barely got back from there last weekend and we had to do all this research to go there. This was not like the Zion trip of yore. A lot has changed. And I'm going to have Matt talk about a lot of this because he was the one that actually booked our tickets. But I want to assure you that Zion is still doable and you can get a ticket. And in fact, if you watch to the end of this movie, we are going to have 4 ways you can access that park, even if you don't get that initial shuttle ticket. So stay tuned. We have a plan for you no matter what happens.
And we have a lot to cover, so we're going to try to move fairly quickly and cover all that you need to know about these shuttle tickets. And this video, even though we're doing it during COVID, it could be relevant beyond COVID because Zion is so crowded now and it's such a small area, such a small canyon, that there's a good chance they'll be doing this ticketing system in the future. Of course, regulations and policies are always changing, so I expect to see many more changes as we get through COVID and beyond. So if you're watching this after the fact and you know of something that has changed that is not correct in this video, please put it in the comments for others. Okay, just a short little background. Zion National Park used to get about 2 million visitors a year, in the 2 million range from about 1993 or about 1990 to 2013, something like that. For about 23 years, it hung out in the 2 million visitor range per year. In 2014 and 15, it zoomed right through the 3 million range and into the 4 million range in about 2 years. So it has just seen a huge spike in traffic. Fortunately, they had already instituted the shuttle system back in 2000, as it was already getting a lot of visitors at that point. So during this time, during COVID, they have actually reduced the capacity of the shuttles to social distance. They literally have removed seats from the shuttles, and
I believe that they hold 34 people each was, I think, what the capacity was. I noticed on the shuttle, where before, like Matt said, there used to be more seats in there, and they would just shove people and you'd be standing up. You'd be very close with your fellow travelers in those shuttles, and now it's quite luxurious, actually, if you want to look at the silver lining.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, number 1, how to buy a ticket and use it. So you have to buy the ticket now on recreation.gov, and just get on there and search for Zion Canyon Shuttles. And the tickets are $1 each, and you can buy a maximum of 8 tickets. And we'll go into more detail here on how the ticketing windows work in just a minute. But the window, or the shuttles, run from 7 o'clock in the morning, and the website says they stop at 6 o'clock at night. That might be when the last one leaves the main visitor center. But we noticed that when we were there, the last shuttle returned from the Temple of Sinawava, which is the 8th and final stop. It made its return trip at 8:15. So I'm not sure if the 6 is just the last time it goes out or what, but the tickets are good for a 1-hour window. So if you, and you'll see when you buy it on there, you can pick your hour window. So like when we went there, we bought it for the 7 o'clock window, and we could board anytime between 7 and 8 in the morning there. And we got on at about 7:50.
And that ticket's good all day. That's just the hour window you have to get on at the visitor center. And you can only board from the visitor center once. That ticket will only get you on one time. But once you're in the park, you can ride the shuttle around all you want until you go back to the visitor center.
Yep, and you have to show your ticket every time you get on, well, not on, every time you get on the shuttle, you have to show your ticket. So the ticket will come as just a barcode to your email, and you can just use that to show. I had a panic moment because it was like 7:50 right near the end of our window, and I could not get my PDF to open up in my email for some reason. So I would recommend opening it before you get there, maybe taking a screenshot of it. You could even print it off and have it in your pocket to have a backup or something like that. And then later in the day, my phone went completely dead or it was on the verge of it, and with about 1%, I had to airdrop the tickets over to her because they do check you on every time you get on. So be prepared to have your barcode ready all day. The website says that you can use it at any stop all day, but the signs in the park did say you could only get on the main visitor center one time. So, because we had thought about coming back to the visitor center and getting lunch or something, and then going back out, and then we decided that's not a good idea. Okay, number 2, the booking windows. So you can reserve the tickets online about 2 weeks in advance, and they open up in windows. So, for example, on September 30th, the tickets for October 16th through the 30th will open. So there'll be those 2.5 weeks will open on September 30th, and you can purchase for those. And they go fast. So the tickets open up at 9 o'clock, and that is Mountain Time. You have to be prepared for that. It's Mountain Time. Keep in mind, if you're in Las Vegas, which is right by St. George, you could be, or you are in a different time zone. So the time zone goes right along Utah and Nevada border there.
And it doesn't. The website does not adjust for your own time zone. You've got to make that adjustment yourself.
Yes, we talked to a few people who were visiting the park, and they mentioned that. They said make sure you get on at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, because they'll be gone in a couple of minutes.
So my tip is for the Zion National Park shuttle system.
Yeah.
To make sure and get on there like at the top of the very hour to get a ticket to ride the shuttle if you want to come in early. Because we were here yesterday and today. Yesterday we had tried to get a ticket, and it was like 2 minutes after the hour, and the tickets were gone. So if you want like an early ticket, you have to be like right at the top of the hour.
And you have to think of the time zone too. So if you're in a different time zone, you have to think of the time zone here. So you actually got the tickets at what, like?
It was like 8 a.m. where we were.
Because we were in Vegas.
It was like 9 a.m. here, which is when the time had opened.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to be on right at 7 o'clock. Is it 7?
No, 9.
9 oh my gosh. I'm paying attention to other
9
things.
o'clock.
Right at 9 o'clock, because if you are on like 1 or 2 minutes later, the tickets really could be gone. We did talk to multiple people, or even like a matter of that minute might mean that your shuttle ticket might be at 3 in the afternoon.
Exactly. So I got on there. We are actually going to Zion again. We just got back last weekend. We're going to go to Zion again in a couple of weeks. And I got on there to buy for October 15th. This was on the last window. And I was a few minutes late, and so I had to buy it like later in the day or something like that. 10 o'clock is when it opened up. Now, that whole 2-week window won't sell out in like 2 minutes. But the other booking window they have is 1 day in advance. So if you miss that 2-week thing, then 1 day in advance at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, you can get on there to book for the next day. And those do go in about a minute or two. The website, you're literally like clicking refresh, and trying to get in there to buy that ticket. And I actually had my iPad out, so I had the mobile device going, and then I had my computer going on the website, and was sitting there refreshing both. And I got in on the website before I got in on the app, so that might work for you.
And I was at work just anxiously awaiting a call from Matt on whether or not we were going to be going to Zion the next day. So it was a little exciting.
If you're traveling to Zion, if you go now with the whole COVID, book your ticket in advance, because you need to have your shuttle ticket. And we were too late because we had to reshuffle the whole system, but then a couple of tickets they give you the day before, and it's at 9 a.m. and you have to be there at 9, because 9:03 it's all gone.
We set an alarm. Yeah, we set an alarm.
We set an
clock
alarm.
And immediately booked it.
Refreshing. It's there, booked.
Yeah, and at the time we didn't know all the other options. So now we've learned a few things, and we want to give you some other options. So if you don't get a ticket, don't panic. You can still really enjoy the park quite a bit. And here's 3 ideas for you. First of all, they hand out 800 tickets at 3 o'clock p.m.
Just on standby. So
Standby.
if you go to the visitor center and you're there around 3 o'clock, they will have 800 tickets available for people that didn't have a ticket. Now, I know that's later on in the day, but
Go ahead.
but there's still time to see the canyon.
Yep, sorry, I was telling Molly not to come out.
Oh,
Okay, so our child's gonna come make it. Not yet. Okay, so now they say not to gather around at like 2:30 or something like that in a big crowd, but I mean, let's be honest, they're gonna give it out to the first come first serve, I'm sure. So I would get there a little early. In the morning, you could do some other activities in Zion to enjoy the park. We recommend going over to Kolob Canyons, which is a completely separate entrance to Zion that you can drive through. It's over on I-15 near St. George, and they have that part is underrated, really undervisited, and so they have some amazing stuff there that you can see in Kolob Canyons. And then I have another video on our channel to something called the Candy Cliffs, which is also over kind of by St. George and Kolob, which is this red rock. It looks like a bowl of ice cream, honestly. It's really cool red rock that you can climb around on. So anyway, there's a couple of things you can do in the morning, and then you can get over to the park at about 2:30 and wait for standby tickets. Okay, and let's just say you get there at 2:30 and you don't get a ticket. You get shut out. Again, don't panic. You can get in your car and you can drive into the park over through the east side of the park. So not a lot of people realize that there's this other road that goes through the park and out the east side. So the shuttles go up the main Zion Canyon, but there's this other side of the park that has some really cool stuff to see, including the Canyon Overlook hike, the Checkerboard Mesa, a little area where you can stop and kind of climb around on the red rock, a couple of areas. And there's bighorn sheep over there. It's a beautiful drive.
And you get to go through an incredible tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fun. If you have kids, they'll love it. I still love it. I think it's pretty cool.
It is cool, and it's got these switchbacks. So I would go over there and enjoy that area of the park, and then do the Canyon Overlook hike at about sunset. It's a beautiful sunset in the canyon. You have a very, very pretty view as well from there. I call it the Angel's Landing Junior. It's really a short little hike with this really nice overlook, and it's not at all the same amount of effort or terror. So now, if you don't want to wait until 3 o'clock for tickets, you could pay for a shuttle to get into the park. So this is something that a lot of people don't realize, and I don't think we realized it at the time.
And this is something they're doing only during COVID, I believe.
You know, I'm not sure on that actually, because that's a good point. I'm not totally sure because we're just learning about this, but I just found 4 websites that you can go to, 4 services that you can pay for a shuttle to take you to the end of the canyon, which is the Temple of Sinawava. That's where you get off to go on the Riverwalk hike and do the Narrows. And it looked almost like maybe they did it at other times beside COVID, but nevertheless, they are Zion Guru, which is about $40 a person, I believe. The St. George Shuttle does the same thing, although theirs was confusing. Their website was really kind of hard to figure out where or how you book it. I would probably recommend going with Zion Guru.
Which is where St. George Shuttle goes to anyway.
Yeah, St. George Shuttles picks you up at Zion Guru, but they're 2 separate companies. It was confusing. We actually called them, and we had a hard time getting a straight answer. So the other thing that I had a hard time was actually finding these companies, because when you just search Zion Shuttles, there's like a million websites about the Zion Shuttle system, and the secondary free shuttle system in Springdale, which gets you from the parking to Zion Park, the parking lot to Zion Park, and then the Zion Shuttle gets you into the park. But then now, right, there's these other 4 shuttle companies, or there might be more, I don't know, but we found 4 that will actually get you, that you can pay to get into the park. But they're actually kind of hard to find. So I'll put links to all of them in the description, but they're Zion Guru, which was $40, ZionAdventures.com. They were kind of cool because they offer a package where they rent you the gear to do the Narrows hike, which is through the water, through the river, and the shuttle ride. So their summer package was $55 to do both, which was a good deal, actually.
Yeah, because renting that gear at the Zion Outfitters is $25. So
yeah, 25. And then the last website I found was Zion Rock Guides, which is $30 a person. So that and the $25 rental shuttle at Zion Outfitters would be $55 as well. So really, the point is, if you're that close and you're shut out on tickets and you're you were actually counting on getting into the park, I would say $30 to $40 to get into the park is fine. Okay, now if you don't want to pay for the shuttle, there are two other options to get in there.
Although we don't recommend these ideas,
No,
but you can do them.
We think they're a little insane. So you can rent a bike at Zion Outfitters, or I'm sure there's other places in town, and just bike into the park. We saw plenty of people doing that.
But the shoulder on that road is like this big. I mean, the only traffic really going up and down that road is the Zion Shuttle and the other shuttle companies, but it is narrow.
And the thing is, you think, well, the shuttle can just go around you, but actually the bikers have to cede to the shuttle. So when they know you're coming, if you know the shuttle's coming up from behind, you're supposed to get off. And there were a surprising number of times where the shuttle was coming past the bike at the same time another vehicle was coming this way, and it was quite a tight thing. I thought it was a little crazy, but even more crazy I thought was the people who just walked into the park. There were plenty of people who just walked in down the canyon, and that's not a short walk.
No.
But they were doing it.
But I guess, if you're at Zion and you really want to see things, you're going to do it. But yeah, you want to save those steps for when you get to an actual hike. So.
And here's the thing, that once you're in the canyon, again, you're going to have to show your ticket to get on the shuttle. So you can't just walk into the canyon and then hope to hop on the shuttle and ride back. That's probably not going to happen. Now, were they complete Nazis at checking the barcodes on everybody? I'm not sure if they were. I don't think they were later in the day, but I probably wouldn't chance it if that's what you're betting on.
Yes, so just to recap, best option, get those tickets a couple weeks in advance. Second best option, the day before. Remember, get on right when the window opens at 9 o'clock Mountain Time. Okay. Mm-hmm. Third option, I would say get a shuttle or the tie, or go to the park at 3 p.m. that afternoon and get a standby ticket, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And then, if you get shut out, you can rent a bike. You can go do some of the other activities. And let me just assure you of this. We'll do a lot of videos on this, but in that Zion's National Park area, there's a lot more to do than Zion's National Park, that canyon. Yep. You won't run out of fun things to do. My mom has a condo in St. George, so we're there a few times a year, and there's always something new to do.
Yeah, it's a hiking mecca around there, and ATVs, biking, all that stuff. So, okay, we just have a couple of frequently asked questions that we wanted to address too. These are from the website, but okay, if you're camping in the park, if you have a camping reservation, you still need to get the shuttle tickets. It doesn't come with it. Okay. Same with if you're staying at the Zion Lodge. The Zion Lodge is the only hotel that is actually located within the park, and it's actually half the way up the canyon. It's one of the stops on the shuttle system, and so you can drive up the canyon to park at the Zion Lodge if you're staying there, but you can't drive any farther, and you need a ticket to ride the shuttle system if you are staying there. So you need one ticket for each day that you're visiting. What if you miss your time? If you miss your hour time, and I was stressing it a little bit because we were kind of near the end of our hour time, and then I couldn't get my tickets working. They say that they'll try to get you on, but there's no guarantees that they'll get you on the next time. It does not guarantee, having a ticket for the shuttle system does not guarantee parking in the park. So there's plenty of parking outside of the park in Springdale, where you can park and catch the free Springdale shuttle, which will get you to the park. You can also park within Zion, so you drive you drive like near the visitor center and then park there. If you get there early enough, which we did at about 7:15, we got a spot. But having the shuttle ticket has no connection to the parking. Okay. It also has no connection to the park entry fee, which is $35 per car, which is good for, I think, a week.
Yes,
right?
a week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So $35 per car for a week for the entry pass, or you can get the annual National Park Pass for $80. If you're a senior, you can get the lifetime lifetime park pass for $80, and you get that for the rest of your life. Okay, anything else?
No, but if you're watching this video and you've been recently and something's changed, please get on the comments and let everyone know. During COVID time, things change pretty rapidly. We do our best to stay caught up on things and share current information, but sometimes things do change, and so we'd love to hear. Also, if you find any value in this video, please subscribe. We've done videos on Yellowstone and Grand Teton. We're starting to do some Zion videos, and we'll have a lot of good information coming up. But yeah, we just want to help you have a great trip. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.